Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? It's SEL0320 representing JVS. So I'm back here again for another review for Supergirl. This is episode crap. I think this is episode 3 of the second season of Supergirl. I gotta say, the second season of Supergirl by far is so much better than the first season. I don't know if it's like the creative juices of Jeff Johns inducing into this, or just them being on the CW network and they can really just geek out as far as what they can truly do with the superhero genre on television. But they're doing a great job with Supergirl. And I mean, case in point, they bring freaking Linda Carter, Wonder Woman herself, on the show as the Madam President. The thing about this episode is multi-layered. There's so many different things that I cannot and I do not have the time to touch on, but I'll try to talk to them about in doses. Let's take Linda Carter, for instance. She's the president. Kara Zor-El is like, she's in love with her. Kara's like, man, she's this and she's this that. They use Linda Carter for so many interesting one-liners, and I was like, you know what? Linda Carter, she still got it, man, because whenever she would deliver a speech or whenever she say something, it was like you could really tell the presence off of her. But the thing about it was the political part about this episode is like she wants to have this act that allow other people, other illegal aliens, quote unquote, to be able to have the opportunity of amnesty or to be able to be citizens and not just kind of like repelled from the natural progression of what was going on in the environment, regardless of human or alien. And it was an interesting act because what Kara had to do, she had to go investigate with Lex's sister or adopted sister, and basically Kara really found out that she had some interesting adjustments to what she wanted to do of signing people in, getting them to be identified, kind of more similar to, if you go, the Marvel Civil War Act that kind of happened within the comics, not necessarily in the actual movie with the Concords. But for this, it was like Kara was going back and forth with the political side of whether or not to be prejudiced against this race, and what she wants everybody to look at her about, with her and with John, that they're really peaceful. But as far as the DOD, they have been tracking down all these interesting aliens. They had never thought they were peaceful. There was a moment when they went into like this bar, and a new person by the name of Sawyer met up with Kara's sister, and they were trying to look and try to figure out what was going on about a certain situation, which I'll get to in a second. And I was like, man, I'm straight up in Men in Black all over again, because that's one thing they hadn't been able to really do, is just show the world that has co-inhabitants in it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, they did a great job as far as the practical effects, as far as the CG, as far as all these really random kind of characters. I was like, it was just filled with it. You know, I mean, they gave us Superman for 2 episodes, and then they gave us Metallo the second episode, but then they gave us this, and I was like, this is awesome. But the other part of that is I think that whoever wrote this episode, they go and they parallel stuff that's going on with the presidential election right now. Having Linda Carter being a female president, case in point, you know, Hillary Clinton, whatever you think, as far as they definitely were trying to touch on certain things with the personal perspective of whether or not to have illegal aliens or to have people have citizenship and the dangers of this or that. There's a lot of different touching, feeling things that were going on. Even with Jimmy, I thought that Jimmy in this episode, I thought he was going to get like cut down again. In the beginning, like kind of did, like he kind of got like, and Kara didn't back him up and really kind of help him out. But by the end of it, Jimmy really asserted himself. He really, you know, grew up in a lot of extents, and I thought that was really good to see him kind of stand up for himself and kind of become his own man, because in my opinion, beginning 2 episodes, they kind of shortchanged Jimmy, but that's for another thing. But the biggest thing that was other side of this is Kara is prejudiced with this new person played by Chris Wood. If y'all don't know Vampire Diaries season, was it 6 or 5, Kai, the character Kai, this man, Chris Wood, has some serious range in acting. He hasn't showcased it just yet, but he is officially Mon-El, and he is from this other sister planet from Krypton that was destroyed, you know, and he kind of just wakes up from this. And if you don't know the part about Mon-El, I don't want to spoil it to you. I don't know how much they're going to go and do flashbacks, but yeah, his character is going to be really interesting, because the first thing he does, he's trying to get home, and he has no idea what's kind of happening. And Kara is just quick to be prejudiced against him, because they had more of a lordship kind of thing going on on his planet versus Krypton, you know. And she, even though she was sitting there trying to, you know, establish what her perspective is and what this, she immediately jumped to him as being the one that was causing this and trying to go out against the president and trying to kill this and that. And it really wasn't him, you know. And I thought that was a really interesting parallel dynamic, and that's why I said this episode was multi-layered, and I can't just regularly review it and say it was good, bad, or whatever. It was really multi-layered. Even the villain, like the powers that they use, and I've seen like one clip off of the Ghost Rider for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I gotta say the fire effects and the pyro CG animation they used for this one was awesome. I mean, especially the heat vision, like. There were certain moments where this character, she was just going in, and then I don't know if y'all caught this, there were two different interesting Easter eggs where Linda Carter was talking like, you ought to check out my other plane, and then when Supergirl was trying to get the heat off her, she was just doing her spin. Any of y'all that are, you know, old school Wonder Woman fans, y'all will catch that note. But I gotta say, it was nostalgic. It was a great episode. Like, I thought I was not gonna like it. But as far as what they did with the CG, as far as what they did with the multi-layeredness of this, and then adding a whole different layer to the alien races in this, brought us to an even amazing more reveal when John Jones went to the same exact bar and got the reveal, got his cousin, Miss Martian. All I gotta say, I give this episode 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for Flash tonight. Keep me lifted up in your prayers. I'm dealing with a little bit of sickness here or there, but we got some stuff coming. I'll talk to y'all soon. Keep it locked. JBS, we ain't gonna stop. Peace, y'all.